All right, thank you so much for sticking around for this, and thank you, Michael, for having me. My name is Luke Stokes. I'm the Managing Director for the Foundation for Inter-Wallet Operability, and we'll have our slides up here in just a second. The Foundation is a Cayman nonprofit. I live here in Puerto Rico as well. I've been here for about a year. Absolutely love it. So if you're visiting, consider. It's a really amazing place to live. Do I have a clicker I can use? Anyone have the clicker? There we go. Thank you. Let me make sure that works. Do you have to point? Let's see here. There we go. Excellent. All right. So our goal with FIO, like Fiona, some people say FIO, some people say FIO, whatever you like, is to make cryptocurrency products easier to use, so easy that anyone can use them. And the venture-backed company that started the initial version of this protocol is called Dapex. They're based in Denver. They've been supported. There was a $5 million raise led by Binance Labs and a lot of these other investors you've probably heard of. We already have 28 members and affiliates that have signed MOUs to integrate this protocol into their products and services. It's not a wallet. It's not a product. We'll get to it. It's a protocol. So I'm going to start with a little story. When the internet was around, it was very, very difficult to use. It was around for 10 years. And people were like, what is internet? What is email? Where is internet? And people were confused by this whole thing. And then when the hypertext transfer protocol came out 10 years later, all of a sudden you get the World Wide Web. You get browsers. You get usability. And people are like, this is really neat. I can build some cool stuff on this. And you see an explosion of users on the internet. I look at the same exact thing with the FIO protocol. The FIO protocol is going to add usability to the blockchain space 10 years later, and all of a sudden we're going to build really cool stuff that people can use. We did a survey of 200 random crypto people, cryptocurrency people in the space, asking them about usability challenges. So how many people here have felt stressed sending a cryptocurrency? Okay, almost every hand up. I mean, about 75% or more. I've been in this space for more than 7 years. I have a computer science background from Ivy League education. I have trouble with this. I built a company for 10 years, like doing e-commerce and stuff. I have trouble with cryptocurrency. It stresses me out, freaks me out. It's not easy. And so 75% felt that same stress. 18% actually lost funds because they sent it to the wrong crypto address. And 6% were actually victims of the man-in-the-middle attack. And what a man-in-the-middle attack is, you get a QR code, you think it's right, somebody emailed it to you, send out money for a car, and then they're like, hey, when are you going to send the money? And you don't know that somebody swapped out that QR code for a hacker's address. Really, really bad. And more than half of the people have had trouble sending a transaction. So what FIO is, it's a usability wallet layer solution. So it doesn't actually talk to a blockchain, it's a protocol. It's an industry-led consortium of wallets exchanges that can actually benefit from the system. Self-sovereign user control, open source, fully decentralized, independent of other blockchains, and completely blockchain and wallet agnostic. So it's just a mechanism for sending and receiving value on a blockchain, but in the wallet layer. And when I say wallet, I mean any crypto-enabled endpoint. So exchanges, games, supply chain tracking, whatever you can think of that deals with blockchain in any way can integrate with the FIO protocol. And so what exactly is the FIO protocol? We're going to spend some time on this slide here. The FIO protocol, as it's going to launch, hopefully by next month, if everything keeps going, they've been working on this for over a year and a half, is going to start with 3 main capacities. And that's FIO addresses, which eliminates all public addresses. So no more big, crazy hashes like you saw in the previous presentation. We're not have to worry about that at all. Instead, it can just be Luke@Stokes or something like that. Domain with a name. It's going to make automatic support for every chain, as we were talking about, and it also comes with, really importantly, FIO requests and FIO data. So every single time, again, I've been in this space for more than 7 years. The first Bitcoin I bought, I spent $50 and I got 2.5 Bitcoin. It was January in 2013. I've been in this space for a while, and I've never actually had, only one time I think, I've ever actually had cryptocurrency show up that I didn't know where it was coming from. Like in the real world, you split lunch, you have an invoice, you have an order cart, like you expect those funds to show up. The one time it did happen, was an invoice I spent like 2 months ago, and we didn't agree how they would pay it, and all of a sudden I had a whole bunch of Bitcoin show up. I'm like, what the heck, where's that from? I had to go through my email and figure out where it came from. But usually it's a request, so it's really important for the usability of cryptocurrency. You're going to get a request and say, yeah, let's split lunch. Okay, cool, you want this cryptocurrency, you want that cryptocurrency, sweet, in your wallet, click send. And then because it's a wallet layer solution and it doesn't actually integrate or talk with the blockchain in any way, right there in your wallet, it swaps over to the native signing functionality for whatever cryptocurrency that you're trying to send. So in that situation, if they want Ethereum, they want Bitcoin, they want EOS, it just right over there and sends it off. But it also includes metadata. which again is really important because that could be anything from a simple memo to a complex order cart to anything else. And what's really important about the FIO protocol is it's peer-to-peer encrypted. So there's no centralized data store of all this information. As I'm interacting with someone else, that metadata, the token we're using, the amount we're using, that is encrypted. That's actually a key signing process, which used to be a big deal. They used to have key signing parties and all that kind of stuff for exchanging to make sure you're sending money to the right person. So you can see in this graphic here, kind of exchange like Jane at Gold is sending a request to Satoshi at Edge, and they're using FIO, and it doesn't matter what kind of currency is involved. So a little bit on the tokenomics. Users to register a name or a domain in their wallet. Maybe they pay with FIO, maybe they pay with Bitcoin or Ethereum, and that could be converted by the wallet or the foundation. 10% is distributed to the wallet. So now the wallets have an economic incentive. They have a profit revenue generating opportunity where they didn't have before. 5% goes to the foundation to continue developing the protocol and doing marketing and integration, airdrops, things of that nature. 85% goes to the block producers. So there's a really high incentive to be a block producer on this network. Some of the FIO tokens are the same for voting, so you can actually vote for block producers and receive those rewards. And some of the tokens will go back into the market by the VPs and the foundation. We've got a lot of people. I showed you that slide of all the different wallets, industry leaders like Paul Pouille, CEO at Edge, Eric Voorhees. I won't read these all to you, but you can follow them on Twitter. They talk about FIO all the time. It's pretty exciting to see other people as excited about it as I am. Anyone who's been in this space for a while is like, holy moly, why doesn't this exist yet? We need this. We have to eliminate public addresses. They're super confusing. It should just be really, really simple. FIO addresses, FIO request, and FIO data. So my hope being here today isn't just to tell you about this. We're mainnet launching, in a month. It's that you all have an opportunity right now in the projects and services you're building to integrate with FIO. Our testnet is live. Our API docs are live. You can check all this out right now. This, to me, is going to be the industry standard. There are other solutions out there like Handshake and ENS and others that we talked to, but they do DNS and they do public mapping. We want to do more wallet naming privately, and we want to do it peer-to-peer and encrypted. So we feel this is really important. This is going to make a big difference in the space. And I want to open up the last 5 minutes for questions, because you all are awesome here, and that's why this event is incredible. We bring the best people, and let's still have some questions. So real quick, you can email me at luke@fioprotocol.io. You can go to fioprotocol.io or fio.foundation as well. Check out the demo video, check out the explainer video. It really does a great job. Those two things together does a great job. Our knowledge base just went live as well, kb.fioprotocol.io. There's a bunch of great information out there. This is a really exciting thing. As you know, as I mentioned, Binance Labs backed us, so we've got some great support. And I won't say much more about that, but you can probably determine what that means. And so let's open it up to questions. And thank you so much for the opportunity. Brian, go ahead.
How many wallets is there a limit, or I guess how does it work? Can I connect more? How many wallets, exchanges, or accounts can I connect? And I've actually gone on connecting my trust.
Fantastic. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But can I connect?
Yeah, so it's an NFT essentially. So I own the domain Stokes. I also registered the name Luke at Stokes. It's about $2-something a year that you have to pay to register Luke, and it's about maybe $34 a year is kind of what we're thinking for the domain. And that's an NFT. So as long as you have the private key for that, wherever you can get that private key, and they will support, like say they'll let you import that private key, you can map it there. You can map it there. You can, you can manage it anywhere you want, and you can map any number of addresses to it. So it could be, Bitcoin addresses, Ethereum addresses, whatever. And also if you have a deterministic wallet, every time you're spending and you're getting a new Bitcoin address, it's automatically remapping to that new address, and it'll just keep working. Any other questions? Well, let's go ahead.
So it's a EOSIO?
Yes, it's a fork of EOSIO technology, but heavily modified. So all the staking's been removed. The resource management is done through the fee process.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's like launching from scratch, or like a no token mine, like what's the kind of...
Excellent question. Yes, so there is no ICO, there's no IEO. DAPX was the venture-backed company that launched it. The IP is already owned by the nonprofit foundation. They're getting a portion, their cap table, their investors are getting a portion of the tokens, not DAPX itself. And the rest of the tokens have different allocations. So there's 12.5%, 125 million. It's a billion tokens total. 125 million are designed just for the foundation to pay fees. So we want to do a big airdrop of addresses and cryptocurrency to an exchange, for example. So let's say, I'll say Acme Exchange, and then you could have Luke at Acme or whatever, and you could just give 100,000 addresses away, and the foundation could pay for those, and the block producers would get those fees as well. We have user bounties, 40% goes to the technology provider on top of that 10% I talked about in the beginning. So there's a lot of tokens all designed to grow this entire network, because we understand Metcalfe's law, everything else. The size of the network is going to create all the value. Then, no, the Cayman entity is a nonprofit. The FIO Foundation, as I explained, 100% of those fees that are used to register domain names, register names, 85% comes to block producers, 10% to the technology provider, 5% to the foundation to continue development and marketing and integrations.
Follow up, let's say we have crypto exchange, how do you spend as well?
Well, both of those exchanges could be, if they're two different exchanges, they could definitely both integrate with the FIO protocol. For example, one of the things they could do, is kind of interesting, is they could do the travel rule with FIO, with that structured metadata. And then that would be peer-to-peer encrypted as opposed to centrally stored in one place, which would be kind of nice. Brian.
What if someone wants to send me a token that I don't have a wallet for?
Yes, so somebody wants to send crypto to you, and they're like, hey, what's your FIO address? And you're like, well, I don't know what that is. My wallet doesn't support it, right?
If I have a FIO address,
Yeah.
my wallet doesn't support tokens.
Oh yeah, unlike the previous presentation, we don't do token-to-token conversion or anything like that. It's really just, if I send a request to you and say, hey, I want Bitcoin, and you're like, bro, I don't got Bitcoin. It's like, all right, well, how does that happen today, right? You have to negotiate something that you guys both agreed to. Any other questions?
So this program doesn't do Bitcoin.
No, there is no chain. This is completely chain agnostic. This is everything leading up to a transfer. So it's all the information transfer back and forth of how you're going to negotiate who's sending what to what and who. But at the moment you actually do a cryptocurrency transfer, at that point, it's native blockchain.
So it's a protocol that will have to be adopted natively by each blockchain.
And that's why, well, no, again, not the blockchains. Just by the wallet crypto endpoints, exchanges, wallets, they integrate it as a service layer on top of the blockchain. The blockchain has no, so basically what this does is every single project you all are investing in the blockchain space now just became more valuable. That usability layer is now solved on every single project. And the chain doesn't have to worry about making their chain more usable. Like BitShares and EOS, they try to have usernames, same as Steam. That can just all go away. It doesn't matter anymore. Public addresses go away, all that confusion goes away, and it's just easy. And that can be, again, right in your gaming app or anything. It's just all FIO addresses. And with the domain, you can actually start advertising for your product as well. Like, again, I got Luke at Edge. Paul Pui's on the board. I like that wallet. So now anytime I'm using cryptocurrency, he's going to get some advertisement from me if I use my Luke at Edge FIO address. All right, we got 1 more minute or 0 more minutes? One more question. Crystal. How do you become a block producer? Fantastic question. We have a testnet. We actually had our first block producer call 2 days ago with all of our testnet participants. I would love to have you on as a block producer. That would be absolutely wonderful. You can go and contact us from the website or just talk to me directly. But if you were involved in any EOS.io chains at all, or even Steam or BitShares, if you're familiar with the graphene family of blockchains, you can probably figure this out real easy. And even if you're not, come let us know. There's going to be a lot of value for block producers in this ecosystem. And I'll just mention real quick, those fees get put into 365 different buckets that are paid out over a year. So there's going to be this huge amount of money and this sink of fees in FIO tokens going out to those block producers. So the competition is going to get pretty intense, and at the same time, it's going to create a drive of value for the token for everyone investing and all that kind of stuff. So we do not have a public token offering for U.S. citizens at the moment, but if you'd like to talk about other things, come talk to me. And that's all I can say about that. Thank you so much.